let's start the session. So here, so this is the thing we are doing. So if we see this architecture, we can see here the React, Spring Boot, and the MongoDB. So the React is the front end we are going to use. Then the Spring Boot is the back end we are going to use. And MongoDB is the database. So if you see this one in the React, we have these things, router, component, service, and as well as HTTP and the Axios. In the Spring Boot, we have the Spring REST controller, Spring Data MongoDB, and here the database. So actually in the React, the router means through this router, we are managing the navigation and rendering of different components. So that's the thing happen in the router when we are using React. So the next one is components. So in the component, actually a part of the user interface. So in the React, component is the part of the UI, actual user interface. So in the service means we are going to handle data fetching, then API calls. Those are things we are doing with the service. And here you can see Axios. Axios means making HTTP request. So through the Axios, from the Axios, we are making HTTP request. Actually, the HTTP, you know, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So we are using HTTP to establish the communication between front end and the back end. So we need that Axios, HTTP. Then we have Spring REST controller. So through this one, we are defining RESTful web servers, web services. In using the Spring Data MongoDB, we are integrating the MongoDB, that means NoSQL database. MongoDB is a NoSQL database. So we are going to integrate the database using this Spring Data MongoDB. And here we have the MongoDB database. So actually that is NoSQL database. So NoSQL database means we are storing data in flexible way like JSON. So that is NoSQL, right? So here, these are the things we are doing in the whole project. Okay. So let's start with the backend part. So in the backend part, actually, we are using Java Spring Boot and the MongoDB. Let's do these things. First of all, we need to check whether we have Java Development Kit, JDK. We have to look into that. Or else, if we don't have it, you need to download it. So I will share these links to download the packages and the softwares. So this is the site of Oracle. So using this one, you can download the Java JDK, Java Development Kit. So you need this one when you are developing the backend part. Okay. So once you install the Java, the JDK, you can check whether you have the Java. So for that one, you can use a terminal or a command prompt or a PowerShell. So in my case, I'm going to use terminal. So here it is. We can type Java C version. So if they are showing us the Java C with a version, that means we have Java. And the other one, Java version. Earlier Java C, now Java. So here you can see, now we have the JDK because I already downloaded. If you don't have, you need to download. Okay, the next thing we need IntelliJ idea because I'm going to use that IDE to develop the Spring Boot. Later, I will show you how to do that using the Visual Studio Code as well. So since I'm using IntelliJ idea, so we need to download that. So for that one, here this is the site. So through this one, you can select the things what you want. It is Mac or Windows, Linux. So those kind of things you can select and you can download it. Okay. So I recommend you to download the community one. And you need to install like we are installing any other software. And the next thing is MongoDB Atlas. So here in the MongoDB Atlas, first we need to sign up for this. So I already sign up for the MongoDB. So you need to, if you don't have an account, you need to sign up. Since I have that one, I'm going to sign in. So here it is. So this is my MongoDB account. So in the MongoDB account, first thing is what we need to do is we need to create a project. So here you have the option called new project. So click on that. And here you need to give a project name. So I'm giving, since I'm developing a movie application, movie API. And next, I don't need to give any members. Then create project. Okay. So the next thing is we need to create a database. Once you create the project, you need to create a database within the project. So here you have the option called database. So click on that. Here, build a database. So click on that. Here, we need to select this free M01, storage 512 MB, RAM shared. So CPU also shared. So you can select that one. And you can select either Google Cloud or Azure. But here, I'm selecting default AWS provider, service provider. And here the region. So this is the closest region to us. So Mumbai. And here you can give any cluster name. So here I'm giving cluster 0. I'm not changing anything. So click on the create, then it will create it. Here it is. Now here asking to give a username and the password. So here I'm using this default one as the username. And here for the password, you can give any password here, or else you can use the auto-generate secure password. And make sure to copy that password and you need to keep that with you. So here is the password I'm going to give and create user. Now here you can see my user, right? The next thing is we need to add an IP address access list. So we need to add entry for the to the IP access list. So here for the security, you can use this add my current IP address. But here I'm going to give this one 000.0.0/0. So this means we are allowing access from anywhere. So here I'm giving, let's say, everywhere. So this is my description. Okay. So using this one, we are allowing access from anywhere. So for more secure one, you can use your current IP address. Then click on this add entry. Here you can see hit added and finish and close. All right. So the next thing is we need to connect the database. So this is how we are going to connect. Here you have the option called connect. So click on that. Here you have some options to connect the database into the project. So here we can use drivers, Compass, Shell, then MongoDB for VS Code, Atlas SQL. So those kind of options we can use. So here I'm going to use Compass. So that is MongoDB's GUI. So that is more easier. It is actually easy to modify and see the data easily. Okay. And if you are using VS Code, you can use this option as well. I will show you how to do that later. Okay, in the Compass, click on that. Here, if you don't have the MongoDB Compass software, you can download it. So first you need to select this option. I don't have MongoDB Compass installed. And you can select your operating system and you can download it and install it. So since I have the MongoDB, I'm going to click on this option. Okay. So here you can choose your version. And here what you need to do is you need to copy this connection string. Okay. Copy the connection string and paste in here as well, because maybe it will need for later purpose. And for this password, we can give this one like this. Okay. I will tell you what is that one. All right. So the next thing is we need to open up the MongoDB Compass. So I already have that one. So let's open it. Here it is. So this is the MongoDB Compass. So here you can give a new connection. All right. So you can give a new connection. So what you need to do is you need to copy that here in the Compass. You need to copy this connection string. We already save it in here as well. You can copy this one and paste in here. And you need to give your password here. Instead of that word, you need to give this password. So actually, this is the string we need to give. I already replaced the password here. And you need to click on this save and connect. So you can give a name, let's say movies API. Then I'm going to change the color and save and connect. Okay. So here connecting to movies API. Okay, now successfully connected, you will see these things. Here we have databases. Here we have admin database and the local database. No need to change anything here. Okay, now let's create a database. So here you have the option called create database from this side. And let's give a name for the DB database. So I'm giving movie dash API dash DB. Here I'm giving a collection. So here I'm giving collection called movies. So here actually collection means like tables in SQL. So in the SQL also we have database. Within the database we have tables. But in NoSQL, so the MongoDB is NoSQL. In the NoSQL also have database. But within the database we have collection. Other than the database, sorry, table, we have the collections. Okay. So at this moment, we don't have any data in the collection. We are just giving the name of the collection. Okay. So I will share some JSON file. So this JSON file, let me open that. Here it is. So this is the JSON file. I'm going to import this JSON file into the MongoDB. So let's see how to do that one. So you need to select movies collection here. And you have the option called add data. So you can select this import JSON or CSV file. So I'm going to give this movies.json. Here you can select this stop on errors one and import. Here you can see 10 documents imported. So inside every document, here these are the document, the whole thing. Inside a document, inside in every document, we have ID, IMDb ID, title, release date, those kind of things. Okay. So that is the movies API database. Okay. Okay, next thing is, so go to the browser. Now we are going to create the Spring Boot project. So click on here. You need to type start.spring.io. Here it is. Then select the project as Marvin. So this is the build automation tool I'm going to use. Then the language Java. And here I'm using default version. Then for the group, let's say ICBT. You can give whatever you want here. So here I'm giving com.icbt. Let's give the name of the project, artifact, and the name, let's say movies. And let's give a description. A simple APIs related to movies. Here the package name. It's auto-filled with the name. And here the packaging is jar. So because I select this jar, this is more widely used one. And here the Java version. So that also default one. Right? Okay. The next thing is we need to add dependencies. Here in the right side, we have the option called add dependencies. So click on that. We need to add some dependencies to do to generate this Spring Boot project. So the first one is Lombok. Then the other one, Spring Web. Then the next one, Spring Data MongoDB. Then the next one, Spring Boot DevTools. All right, so these are the dependencies I'm adding. So about these 4 dependencies, I will share you a document. So read it out. What are the things happen there? What is the purpose and the usage of these dependencies? Okay, so you can go through with that. All right. So the next thing is we need to generate the project. So here click on generate. It will generate a zip file here, zip file. Let's see that. Here I have the zip file. I'm going to give it in this folder. So here I have that. So we need to extract that zip file as well. Now here, this is the folder, movies, right? Then the next thing is we need to open the IntelliJ IDEA. So let's open it. Here, IntelliJ IDEA. Okay, let's open the folder from here. Loads at programming movies. Open it. Here it is. Now we open the folder. So if we see this folder structure, we can see .mvn. So this means we are ignoring this one. This is related to Marvel, the build tool, build automation tool. So you can ignore that folder. So the next thing is src, that means source folder. Within that we have several things like main, test, so those kind of things. Within the main, we have Java and the resources. And here we have the project name, com.icbt.movies. And within that, we have the application class. Okay. So here the thing. So if we see this application class, so here, if we see this line by line, first line you can see this is the declaring package. So this is our package. And here we have 2 imports. One is Spring application and the other one Spring Boot application. So in the Spring application contains run method. So here pass in the application class and command line arguments as parameters. Okay. And the other one is Spring Boot application. So this is an annotation. As here you can see Spring Boot annotation. This one actually annotation in Java, this from this annotation, we are letting the compiler know about what this class does. Through this movies application class, what the thing this class does. So that is the thing happen in the annotation in this annotation of this Spring Boot application. Okay, so those are the imports and the things in this movies application.java class. Okay, so let's run this project and see. So you can use either these 2 play buttons or else you can simply go through with the main play button, run button. So click on that. Yes. Here it will show you some errors. So the first one is port in use. So in the port in use, what we need to do is we need to change the port. So here actually, this web server running with this port called 8080. But in this machine, this port already in use in another server. So what we need to do is we need to change the port. So to change the port, you can do it in here. In the resources folder, you have the file called application.properties. So you need to go there and type server.port equals to, you can give any port. So here I'm giving 8090. So here my port. Let's say 8081. Okay, let's save this file and let's run it again and see. Yeah, now that error gone. Then here we have an exception. Exception in socket, open in socket. So this one actually happened because we didn't specify the MongoDB cluster, username, password, and the DB. Just we connect it. We just make the connection, but we didn't provide the cluster name or a username or a password, anything. We didn't configure the database yet. So that's why this exception occurred. So to solve that, open the pom.xml file and then find the here you have, you can see these dependencies. Using this dependencies tag, you have the dependencies. We need to find dependency for MongoDB. Here, let's see. Yeah, here we have that one. So select the dependency, whole dependency for the MongoDB. We need to comment it. If it is a Windows, you can comment it using Control/, or if it is a Mac, you can use Command/. Then save it. Now we need to build the project again. So here you have the option called to load Maven changes, or else you can right click on the pom.xml file, Maven reload project. You need to reload it. Then let's run it and see. Stop and rerun. Now that exception also gone. Here you can see Tomcat web server start in port 8081. Okay, now successfully run the project. Okay, so that's the thing we have done so far.